everyone, and welcome. Congratulations on your acceptance to tech. On behalf of the Institute, we are so glad that you want to become a Yellow Jacket. My name is Jaime Ogando, and I am a second-year civil engineering here at Tech, and I was born in Distrito Nacional, Dominican Republic. On campus, I am a mentor of the Office of Minority Education and Development and a member of the Hispanic Recruitment Team, the Society of Professional Hispanic Engineers, SMILE, and the Construction Engineering Association. Today, I am honored to be your host at Connect with Tech. Take it from me, becoming a Yellow Jacket has truly been the best decision of my life, just because of all the way that tech has allowed me to grow spiritually, academically, professionally, and socially. And I am here to help you and to give you a little bit of information of why I feel this way. Throughout today, we'll be posting some polls throughout the whole program, so please make sure to weigh in. Starting now, we would have our first poll, which is, what are you most excited about for college? We know that this is an exciting time for you, so please tell us why. During our programs, we hope to share information with you and your family over the next few months. And we know many of you may not have visited campus yet, but we really do want to bring campus to you. It's our hope that you will learn more about what has been happening on campus and meet different members of our Georgia Tech community. To get started, I'm going to turn it over to our Director of Admissions, Mr. Rick Clark, who has a message for you, the newest members of the Yellow Jacket family.
Congratulations again on being admitted to Georgia Tech. We are so glad that you're taking a little bit of time to learn more about this amazing place. We are very excited today to have some amazing speakers, some professors, students, as well as some of our staff that you're going to have a chance to interact with. We really know right now that you're sitting probably on a bunch of different offers and you're weighing your options, and that's exactly what you should be doing. So our goal in this program is to just introduce you to some of our best folks, to give you an opportunity to interact a bit, ask some questions, and really just see what makes Georgia Tech so great. So sit back, enjoy, and we look forward to hosting you today.
Like Rick mentions, we really want to show everyone how great tech is. I hope by the end of the day you feel the same way. Now we're going to move into something that I know everyone loves, which are giveaways. And all right, so we also wanted to thank you for just connecting here with us and being at Connect with Tech. And as admitted students, we know how exciting this time can be for you and your families while you weigh in your college options. Since this is called Connect with Tech, we really do want to make a connection between us and that we get to know you as much as we can and let you know as much as you can about tech. So we have a giveaway opportunity for all of you that are logged in here. And all you need to do is go to our @GTAdmission Instagram account and repost our Get to Know You graphic with fun facts about you. Don't forget to tag us at GTAdmission so we can see your post to enter you for a chance to win. At the end of the day, we'll draw for two random giveaway winners, and we'll reach out via email on how to get your giveaway mailed to you. And before we officially get into our interview segment, we wanted to share some of the cool research and AI breakthroughs Georgia Tech students and faculty have been able to develop in the last few months. So now we're going to talk about the Finding Their Groove AI Robots and Dance Transition, which is just so research and uncovering new breakthroughs is present across all of our majors here at Tech. And the unique thing about Georgia Tech is that often research leads to collaboration between different departments, majors, and even universities. The impact of robots on human life is evident everywhere, and from service sectors such as healthcare or retail to industrial systems in settings like automobile manufacturing. But it is one thing to leverage robots as helpers, but it's another to actually connect with them emotionally, which is where you can build the most trust. Researchers at Georgia Tech found that embedding emotion-driven sounds and gestures in robotic arms help establish trust and likability between humans and their AI counterparts. They have explored those connections not only in labs, but also in live performance stage in a unique collaboration with Kennesaw State University. With the National Science Foundation funding, Georgia Tech music technology students and faculty researchers have programmed a forest of improving robot musicians and dancers who interact with human partners, and we're excited to show you today what dancing with AI counterparts looks like.
This project is about establishing trust between humans and robots through sound and movement. We developed a machine learning based systems that put sound that is emotional and map it to robot gestures in order for people to connect to robots in a much more emotional and personal way. In order to bring gestures into the project, we collaborated with KSU, Ivan Polinkala from KSU, who is a choreographer that brought dancers to have emotional gestures interacting with the emotional gesture we designed for our robots.
The part that's interesting to me about this project is that we co-inhabit the space together. The robotics and the dance or the choreography is sort of commingled into the project. It relies on the expertise of the other collaborator to be successful. There was a good sort of meeting of the minds and spirits in the project.
We want to bring robots and humans, such as different species in an organic, diverse forest, to interact together and to inspire each other. If this project is successful, the dancers will come up with new ideas about how to move based on interacting with the robots, and the robots, through my students at Georgia Tech, would also come up with new ideas informed by the humans.
Old sparrows, they flow and stop. Cats fall while feeling beaters huffing and ringing.
Today we have two very special guests joining us to help give you a look inside tech. Our first guest is Jennifer Whitlow, which is the Director of Computing Enrollment and Alumni Engagement, received her BS in Computational Media from Georgia Tech and her MED in Higher Education Administration from Georgia Southern. Fun fact about her is that in 6 months, she would have had spent half of her lifetime here at Georgia Tech, either as a student or as a staff member. And if you ask me, that's very cool. And oversees first year, her role here is to oversee first year College of Computing programs, including Facet and Boot Up. Also teaches all College of Computing first years in CS 1100, the college's first year seminar course. And in her free time, she spends most of her free time in grad school, but also likes to take a break and enjoys traveling, cooking, game nights with friends, and anything outdoors. So now I would like to welcome Jennifer Whitlow. Hi, Jennifer. Thank you so much for joining the call today. We are here with newly admitted first years, and I wanted to give you the first chance to congratulate them.
Hi, Amy. Thank you for having me. And congratulations to all of you joining us on the call today. It has been quite a while since I received my admission letter from Georgia Tech. I think I got it before most of you were actually born. But I know how exciting it is to be accepted to Georgia Tech, especially given today's, statistics and things like that around the incoming class. So congratulations to all of you. And I hope that you find this talk helpful in making your decision.
Of course, thank you for that. And my first question I have for you is, can you share a little bit about what your role here?
I didn't hear the very last part of that question, Amy. Can you repeat it? Sorry.
Yes, can you share a little bit about what your role here on campus is?
Yeah, so I currently serve as the Director of Enrollment and Engagement Initiatives over in the College of Computing. And so that's kind of a very broad role, but I have the privilege of working with our students as they come into Georgia Tech and specifically into the College of Computing at the undergraduate and graduate level. And then I also get to work on some really fun new initiatives. So I work very closely with what we're doing around entrepreneurship and computing. I get to teach an entrepreneurship class every semester that's a great opportunity to introduce students to alumni and other individuals that are working kind of in that entrepreneurial ecosystem here in Atlanta. And then I also work with our alumni population out of the College of Computing. So in essence, I guess I work with kind of the bookends of your Georgia Tech career if you come in as a College of Computing student.
That's great. And since you get to interact a lot with the College of Computing's first years and teach them in CS 11000, do you have a favorite memory of a student or an experience that you have had in the past years while teaching?
Oh, goodness. I have lots of really great moments with students. I think one of the benefits of the role that I'm in is I do get to engage with our first year students at least once a week during their first semester on campus. And so just getting to see as all of you navigate all of the opportunities that are now available to you, and watching that decision process happen, as you know, especially, you know, being a woman in tech myself, understanding that imposter syndrome and seeing for a lot of students that first moment when they thought something was impossible, they couldn't get their code to compile, or, you know, they were told no by their dream company for an internship, and then just seeing that moment when it all clicks for them. You know, all of a sudden they have that aha moment and their code magically compiles because they changed a colon to a semicolon, or, you know, they get that yes from their dream company for an internship or full time. I think that's, you know, it doesn't matter which student it is, that is one of the best parts of my job is seeing that transition and that excitement when those things that you've dreamed about finally come true, and you have that opportunity.
Thank you for that. And my next question is, over the next 2 months, our admitted students will be making a big decision of where they want to attend. And for many GT community members, such as yourself, you have to make a similar decision whether to call Georgia Tech your home as a student or as a staff member. Could you share a little bit about why you chose to become a Yellow Jacket and make Georgia Tech your home?
Yeah, so my decision process was probably a lot different when I was deciding to come as a student than all of you. Just different generation. We didn't apply to as many places as all of you do, that kind of thing. But for me, what sold Georgia Tech was it was the best of both worlds on so many different levels. I came from kind of a smaller high school in this, you know, kind of my own little bubble. So I wanted that experience on a college campus where I felt like I wasn't just a number or a face in the crowd, but I actually got to know my peers and my faculty members. But at the same time, I didn't want to go to such a small school that I didn't have the opportunities that, you know, a larger state institution would have. And for me, Georgia Tech was the best fit because it's a small enough campus that you really can't walk around campus without seeing someone you know, which makes getting to class on time and to meetings on time a little more difficult. But you can always see someone that you know, but you also have the name recognition and the reputation and the opportunities that come with that big school. The other selling point for me was location. When I told my parents I wanted to go to Georgia Tech, the main, you know, their main experience with Georgia Tech was driving by it on the interstate in downtown Atlanta. We hadn't really walked on campus. And I think for me, you know, I love the idea of going to the big city and having access to the theater and great restaurants and all that stuff that I maybe didn't have in my hometown, but also having that very traditional college campus. I didn't want to go somewhere, you know, where the buildings were just spread out in different high rises throughout the city. I wanted that traditional college campus feel, but with the benefits of having access to the city and all that that includes as well.
That's great. And being here at Georgia Tech for almost half of your lifetime, as we mentioned earlier, which is very, very impressive, you've obviously seen how tech has grown a lot in the past years. Do you mind sharing a little bit about what you see tech has changed and how does that impact, let's say, your work?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously there's been lots of changes. There are buildings on this campus that did not exist when I was a student. They were parking lots back then, or green space or something along those lines. The sizes of classrooms have changed. My students give me a hard time all the time because I didn't have a smartphone. I didn't have social media when I was in college, probably for the better. But, we were the first freshman class that was required to have a laptop on campus. And now everyone walks around with 5 or 6 devices on them at any given time. So it's been really interesting just to see how technology and the changes in the curriculum and things have shaped how students interact with each other, how they engage with companies, how they engage with their faculty. So I think that's really exciting, just seeing how quickly, things have changed and innovated in both the academic side and the industry side. But I think one important thing to note is that at the core of who Georgia Tech is, we haven't changed. And I think that's good. When I talk to alumni or I talk to industry reps, I think one of the best things is Georgia Tech students can outwork anyone else. They have this grit and this determination and this excitement to solve problems that you just don't necessarily find at other schools. At least in my opinion, I might be slightly biased. But I think you just get this really unique kind of core characteristic of what it means to be a yellow jacket. And that resonates with, like I said, alumni and industry, because at the heart of it, they know that if they hire someone out of Georgia Tech, they're going to hire a really great employee. And so I think that's important too, is even though things have changed, the quality of students that we're admitting and the quality of alumni we have is top notch.
That's great to hear. And since you spend a lot of time here on Tech, and you probably have had a lot of great opportunities on campus, do you have a favorite spot that you recommend any first years to take advantage of?
So a lot of the spots that I spent my time as a first year student don't exist anymore. If you do come into the College of Computing, under our main building, the College of Computing building, there is a area with picnic tables. It's the same picnic tables that were there 18 years ago when I was a first year student studying late at night. And so that's, that has very fond memories, and probably some not so fond memories of certain projects. But, to me, that was, even when my friends come back to campus or alumni come back to campus, that's a key piece for us is sitting in that common area. But I think if I think broader campus, there's something about Tech Tower to this day that draws me there. I think maybe because my grandfather went to Georgia Tech many, many years ago. And so that's something that we connect with because it was here when he was here and it was here, today. But if I have to be honest, although I wish our football team was doing a little bit better, you cannot beat the view out of the Georgia Tech Stadium for an evening game. Just the skyline in the background, all lit up, and the excitement. I think that is another great experience and place on campus.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And as I mentioned before, I know you're kind of busy with grad school right now, but when you are in your free time, you do enjoy going outdoors. And although we're in a city, a very big city, if you ask me, and we are actually close to a couple of outdoor adventures. Do you have any hiking or sightseeing recommendations for students today?
Yeah. So fun fact, Atlanta is the largest urban forest. And if you ever fly into Atlanta, you can see how green it really is. But what most people don't realize, unless you live kind of in the metro Atlanta area, is you can drive about 15, 20 minutes in any direction north of the city and hit one of the Chattahoochee River State Park areas. So there's a lot of hiking around the Chattahoochee River, all kinds of walking paths. Some more advanced, some, are paved, but also just kind of a fun thing to do that's easy and really close to campus is to shoot the hooch. So just to rent a tube in the summer when it's way too hot here in Atlanta and just float down that river for a couple of hours with friends. And I think that's, that's a fun thing to do, especially in the August, September when things are a little warm down here.
Yes, I totally agree with you. And before we let you go, do you have any last piece of advice to our new Jello Jacket?
Yeah, so my biggest piece of advice that I can give to you, is don't be afraid to say yes to things. In high school, you kind of feel the need to fit into certain friend groups and cliques and participate in certain activities to build your resume, for college admissions and things like that. But when you get to a college campus, you've got so many opportunities that you didn't have access to as a high school student. Whether that's studying abroad, doing internships, connecting with students who come from different backgrounds. One of the best things, and probably the thing that I love the most about still being at Georgia Tech to this day, is the people I've connected with, because I have friends and I have students and former students that come from almost every country in the world that I've gotten to know, and I've gotten to experience their food and their culture and become a part of their families and get to know them. And so had I said no to those opportunities that maybe felt a little uncomfortable to me, I would have missed out on some of the, most amazing experiences of my life and some of the most amazing relationships and friendships that I've built over the years. So don't be afraid to say yes. Don't be afraid to move out of your comfort zone and to try new things that will push you and help you grow and develop into the person that you desire to be.
Great. Thank you so much, Jennifer, for joining us today and sharing all those words of wisdom with our newly admitted Yellow Jackets.
Happy to join. And again, congratulations to all of you. Hopefully we will see you here on campus this summer or fall, and welcome to the Yellow Jacket family.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Before we bring out our second guest, I would like to share a little bit more about the city of Atlanta and the great opportunities we as Georgia Tech students can have within this big city. And in my opinion, as I mentioned, I am from the Dominican Republic, and I had been to Atlanta at least once before, but in general, Atlanta is such a great city to live in as a college student, just because of all the opportunity and accessibility you have, whether it is with public or private transportation, how good the food is, and how diverse the people are. So you really get a good grasp of how the real world is. My favorite things to do in the city is just to go to Atlantic Station and get some good food, or do some good old-fashioned bowling or skating or shopping, go to different venues to listen to my favorite artists, and go to the awesome games that our sports teams have, and also just visit the wonderful museums that we have around the city. My favorite places to eat are restaurants called Café Intermezzo, Food Terminal, Señor Patron, Wingnuts, and Tin Drums, which, lucky for me and lucky for you all too, they are all 10-minute walks away from campus. And my favorite games that I have been to are from the Atlanta Hawks and also the MLB champions, the Atlanta Braves. And I think that there is something here really for everyone, just because of how rich the culture and history is here in Atlanta, whether it is with landmarks of the '96 Olympics or public art or parks, and just history symbols like MLK's house. Moreover, Atlanta is a growing industry-based city, offering many opportunities only for tech students to take advantage. So many big companies have their headquarters here, like Delta, Home Depot, Turner Construction, and Coca-Cola, and offer many opportunities only for Georgia Tech students. You have the option to either intern for them in the summer, whether it is in the spring, summer, or fall semester, and also co-op with them, which is just having multiple internships guaranteed with that company throughout your tech career. Almost every single one of my friends has already had an internship in the city, or would also have the opportunity to go to other states because of the hard work and all the facilities Georgia Tech gives them through the Career Center or through their student organization. There are also so many more students that can attest how cool Atlanta is and all the opportunities it has to offer, so we want to highlight them now.
Our proximity to economic opportunity, being at the center of Midtown's startup scene and neighbor to endless major corporations, is just one of the advantages of Tech's Atlanta location. Whether you're in search of big city opportunities or looking for a simpler experience, Tech is the ideal base.
Here in Atlanta, there's so many different things you can explore. So there's tons of museums, different food places to eat. And I think that's really cool how much culture the city has. And that's what's special to Georgia Tech, because not a lot of campuses sort of have that right outside their bounds of their school that you can just, for a weekend, get out with your friends, go do something cool, and then come back and do your work.
As I came to Tech, I think one of the first things that struck me was, first of all, just the green space, the trees. I came on campus and I was like, this is the most beautiful college campus I've ever been on. And then I look up and I'm like, and then you have just the scenic skyline in Atlanta and Midtown all around you. And then beyond that, I think what drew me to it is the fact that just Atlanta brings so much, both inside the classroom, career-wise, and then also just outside the classroom-wise as well.
I think what I absolutely love about being on campus or being in the heart of Atlanta is just the opportunity and the ability to really travel outside and do anything. For a good chunk of my time here at Tech, I was in the resident assistant, so in our dorm. So I took a lot of my residents out around campus, and it was a great way to unwind on the weekend, or even during the week, after a hard test or something. It's a great way to just link up with friends and just have a great time.
I am a huge runner, so my favorite thing to do in the city is to explore all the different neighborhoods and pockets of Atlanta by foot. That's something that when I started off as a first year here, I didn't have a car, so I really wanted to see Atlanta, and I thought, what's the best way I can cover distance through the city without having a car? And I figured the way to do that was running. So you can do different things like Piedmont Park. You can go into all the different neighborhoods as far as houses. I love to explore all the different houses throughout the city. And then kind of just make it a thing, go run to a farmer's market and see things like that.
One of the coolest parts about being in Atlanta is really the diversity and the diversity of the student body as well. You get to meet students from across the globe, from a lot of different countries, and they come from unique experiences as well. And when you're out there talking and meeting new people, it's always really interesting being able to connect with different people and see the perspective of so many different students. And the Atlanta community is also very diverse. You have food from everywhere really, and so many unique cultures you get to experience every day.
So, as you can see in the video, Tech students have so many things to do within the city of Atlanta. There's always something new to eat, enjoy, explore, or just watch. Plus, it's a great place to live and jumpstart your career opportunities with all the companies we have here. Now, I would like to present the next guest, and if you tune into our Connect with Tech episode 1, you probably already know her and the amazing things she has done. And our next guest joining us, her name is Aya Ayubi, and she's a recent Georgia Tech alum in industrial design from Jordan. She was the first place winner and People's Choice of the Spring 2021 Inventor Prize and creator of Delta Jacket. At Tech, she was involved in Createx startup, and she was a lifeguard at the CRC, which is our campus recreational center, and studied abroad in Singapore and Netherlands, and was part of the Industrial Design Society of America. She enjoys traveling and exploring the world, museums, and while at Tech, she had family dinners with her roommates and continues to do that tradition now, even though she's graduating, but virtually, with weekly movie nights. Hello, Aya.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
Very good. I'm in Jordan, so it's pretty late, but I am so happy to be here.
Yes, I'm so happy that you're here too. Just wanted to thank you for connecting with us. And I just want to tell you, as you may already know, that we are here with newly admitted students, and they just got to hear from Jennifer from the College of Computing. And I just have a couple of questions for you. And as we all just heard in your intro, you're an international student like me and chose to make Georgia Tech your home for 4 years. Since we have many out-of-state options and potentially international students tuning in today, can you share a little bit more about why you chose Georgia Tech?
First of all, let me congratulate everyone who's made it this far. I mean, it's really a huge weight lifted off your shoulders, and Tech is a really, really great school, and obviously I'm biased, but that's why I chose it. Which brings me to answering the question. Basically, your question kind of reminds me of when I was filling out the Common App 3 or 4 years ago, and I feel like everyone here will kind of relate to me. But I'm someone, just like Jennifer, who likes moderation, and I remember saying on my Common App, Tech checks all the boxes. I'm sorry. But basically, it was a really great mix between a really beautiful college campus and the city, It had my major, industrial design, as a Bachelor of Science, which I thought opened up a little bit more doors, since all of the other universities I was applying to had a Bachelor of Design or Art. I thought the Bachelor of Science would like really bring a real life perspective into what I was studying and would make it a little bit more grounded, which I thought was a big plus. Also, when you're at a university like Tech, you have so many different options of so many different things to study. And so even if you don't think you're finding your place in the major you set out to do, you always have the option of switching, learning new things, studying abroad, doing all of these different things to supplement or replace the thing that you thought. So you're never really confined in Tech. You really have so many choices, and I think that's what convinced me to just, click that accept button.
Thank you so much for sharing that. And as I mentioned and you have mentioned, you were able to experience a lot of unique opportunities here under the Tech, whether it was participating in the Adventure Prize competition or just studying abroad. Do you mind sharing a little bit about what were your favorite parts of those experiences and what highlighted you the most of what you did here at Tech?
So let's start with study abroad, since it happened first. But essentially, studying abroad really, really opens up your horizons. I met so many different people from so many walks of life, from so many different countries, and they've literally become my family, especially during COVID when I was stuck abroad and there wasn't anyone back there but the internationals. And so, honestly, when you go abroad and you learn from professionals and professors from around the world, you gain perspective that is so unique and so illuminating that you can't but grow as a person and as a learner. And so I think that was one of my favorite things to do, aside from the fact that I love to travel, I love to sightsee, and so that just gives you a little taste of the world. On the other hand, I did participate in the Adventure Prize, and not only did that open up so many different doors, but it also opened up my perspective to entrepreneurship. You always think an entrepreneur is that like really far off millionaire who's like doing really well and had a really great idea at the really great time, and you don't think it's attainable. But at Tech, they literally push you towards putting your ideas to paper. And so that's something I can't ever forgo, because you can study and you can, design till the cows come home, but unless you share it with someone and actually try to change the world, then not much is going to happen or change. So I think Tech really does want to be that change in the community, in the world, and in its students.
That's great to hear. As you mentioned, you participated in the Adventure Prize at Georgia Tech and won first place. Congratulations on that. Can you share a little bit about what to create Delta Jacket and to compete in the Adventure Prize? And for our newly admitted students, what is the Adventure Prize?
So the Adventure Prize is basically a Shark Tank-like prize here at Tech, where students submit their ideas for products, businesses, services, all things that they think will help change the world or help make lives better. And through a series of rounds and interviews and additions or alterations to your concept, you eventually get funding and support until you pose your idea and, if you're in my position, maybe even win. But that prize kind of helps you cement your foundation for whatever idea you want to incorporate or create, and then they help you patent it and fund it with a cash reward, which is amazing. And as for why I got into it, my studio professor in our final year of studio, which is what industrial designers have on a semesterly basis, basically. It's a required course, but it's basically your second home. For our thesis, or the equivalent of our thesis, our final design, we were encouraged to explore a topic that interested us. And I'm a Jordanian. I come from a small country with a huge refugee crisis. And so I decided to look into that crisis and explore some different ways to help alleviate it. And after much research and kind of morphing the scope of the project to the homeless in Atlanta, I realized that the best way to help the homeless is to help reverberate what I thought was breaking the cycle of their poverty. So I did that through what I call humanitarian couture, which is social fashion. And I created the Delta jacket, which is an inflatable and reversible garment that the homeless can use to sleep on at night. And, you know, I thought it was a really well-developed idea. I thought it would really help the homeless community in Atlanta and beyond. And so I submitted it for the Inventure Prize, and lo and behold, a few rounds later, I was able to win it. So that just goes to show you that anything, whether it's your hobby or something you do in the classroom, can translate into a patent and a cash award.
That's great to hear, and thank you for sharing. And as you mentioned, you also participated in the Createx Startup Launch Program. Do you mind sharing a little bit about what this program was and how did it help you with your invention and startup?
So Createx is kind of an accelerator where students go with an idea or just an inclination towards entrepreneurship, and the best and brightest mentors at Tech try to hone your entrepreneurial skills by giving you mentorship and support sessions and giving you access to all these different lawyers and accountants and patent attorneys and anything you need to start your business. And, you know, you basically explore what your idea is or how you want to start about your career in entrepreneurship. So what I did was, after winning the Inventure Prize, I volunteered my time with Createx so that I can learn a little bit more about the business scene, and I got to meet all these different professionals, all of these different CEOs, and I actually created most of my manufacturing chain and supply chain through Createx, which is amazing. So whatever you want to do at Tech, you always have this certain club that's going to push you towards becoming, you know, a better, brighter, more interesting, in my perspective, person. And Createx is just one of these different clubs that you can join.
100%. I have been told that when you were here in Atlanta, you really enjoyed going to museums and occasionally bringing your friends to jazz nights. Since you're not originally from Atlanta, I just wanted to see if you could share what was your favorite place in the city and why.
Now, I don't think I could choose one favorite place in the city because there are like different memories attached to different places. Atlanta is such a nice and diverse city in terms of things to do. So if you wanted to eat, there's like so many different terminals to eat at, like Ponce or The Works or Krog Street Market, or there's a fifth one or fourth one that I'm completely blanking out on. You could rush down to Buford Highway and just sip on some bubble tea, which is something that my friends and I did very consistently. You could be someone like me who wasn't really attached to any type of Greek life or party scene or anything, but I like to dress up and I like to go out with my friends. So every month we'd go to jazz nights at the High, where they play a band and they let you look at all the exhibits, and all you have to do is just enjoy. So that's something we love to do, but because it came once every month, I can't claim that that was my favorite thing to do. And if you just need to get away, you feel burnt out and done with school, what you can always do is either catch a movie in Atlantic Station, or you can walk down to the aquarium and just take a day with the fish. Like literally just watch the fish, decompress, and then go back to life. And both of those are a walk away. Now Atlantic Station is a bus ride away, but both are very accessible, especially since I didn't have a car. It was a really nice city to be in because you never needed the car.
I agree 100%. And as you very well mentioned, academics are also very important here at Tech, but having a college experience and lasting friendships are more important. Can you share with our newly admitted students any piece of advice on how to find your place at Tech?
So I think every person who really wants to branch out needs to do two things. Explore, 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 and don't get lazy. So really, if you want to join a club at Tech or find someone who has the same likes and dislikes and perspectives as you, all you need to do is look. So it could be that person that's sitting next to you who's struggling with their assignment. It could be someone at the work that you decide to work at, and it could be at a club or a party or a football game. Like literally, if you have any type of hobby, any type of thing that you like to spend your free time on, you can 100% find someone at Tech who does the same thing. All you need to do is just look for that one thing that you like to do, and you will find it at Tech. There are League of Legends clubs, and there are, swimming clubs, archery, whatever you think of, we have it. We even have an adventure course, for God's sakes, or a rock climbing wall. Like, we have very fun things to do around campus, and you can definitely find what you like to do and the people who you like to do them with. You just have to be open to that. And the second thing is, and this is something I'm telling myself because I've realized it more and more as you grow up, but you should really, we should all become less lazy. I think what I've noticed when you're in your third, fourth, fifth year at Tech, you stop having that freshman-like excitement to meet new people, because when you're a freshman, the first maybe 3-4 months are literally an incessant, hey, what's your name? What major are you? Oh, what year are you? What do you like to do here? Oh, this assignment, So I feel like that's something that we all miss as we grow, but if you keep it in mind and you don't get lazy, you really can grow all your connections, because Tech's big, but it's not that big. So you always know someone who you've seen at a party. So I still walk around campus, even till now, I've graduated, and I see someone that I've recognized, or someone that I've talked to once, or someone that I've been to a class with once. So if you meet all these people, no doubt you'll know a lot of people who know a lot of people who will just create a big circle, big community, and big friend group. So
that's great to hear. And before we let you go, any last piece of advice for our new Yellow Jackets?
I think what I will say, and I know I'm not doing this question any justice because I have so many things I would tell someone when I was just entering tech, but you're basically going to college for two things, to grow and to learn. So any way you do any of those two things, you're just doing a great job. So if you learn something that isn't within your major, or you grow with your friends or with another friend group, or you just have more friends or more interests and likes and dislikes, you do you. Like, anything goes, especially at tech, where everyone's chill, everyone's very warm-hearted, everyone's willing to help you do anything, whether it's improve your grades, find something new to do, start your own business. Everyone's so open-minded for all of these things that whatever you want to do, there is someone there to help you. So, help us help you. And we're really excited to have you become part of the family. So choose tech.
Thank you for sharing that, Adia. It was a pleasure meeting you and having you today here. Have a good night.
Thank you for having me. Go Jackets. Bye. Okay. Bye.
So yeah, that was Adia. So thankful to have had her here, and thank you all for joining this afternoon. As a final note, we also want to give you a quick rundown of what to expect as you move forward as a newly admitted Yellow Jacket. If you know tech is the place for you and you don't want to wait, make sure you pay your tuition deposit to secure a place in GT26. Be on the lookout for future admitted student visit opportunities through our admission portal. And these opportunities include a chance to learn more about your next steps, interact with current and future Georgia Tech students in person or virtually, and as well hear more about your academic college and campus resources available to you. Thank you so much for tuning in, and be on the lookout for future Connect with Tech episodes throughout the spring to learn more about Georgia Tech and the family we have here in Atlanta. And before you leave, I would like to myself give you a piece of advice. And I know that choosing the correct university or city to live in for your next 4 to 6 years can be very difficult. But what helped me the most during this process was just knowing what I wanted and how to get it. I definitely wanted a place that could offer socially, academically, professional, spiritual, and recreational diversity, and that I felt that I could do literally anything that I wanted to with just trying, or that I would have been able to get enough resources. And simply, I just wanted somewhere where I could have unapologetically be myself, and where I could grow from fellow students, professors, staff in every way, and that it would be easy for me to interact with them. So I really feel that tech does a really good job at making tech feel like home, whether it is on campus, in your dorm, in the classroom, in recreational areas, and just the way that we have almost 500 or even more than 500 student organizations where you can find a home, or you can find fellow students that think like you, that, I don't know, that play like you, that whatever, really. And Coleman here was really something, just knowing this, that really reinforced the idea of coming here to tech. And I have not been disappointed yet. Tech has given me all the resources, all the people, all the help I could have asked for. And the memories I have made and the experiences I have had have been literally irreplaceable. And I just really hope that you feel the same way when you choose a university, and that I really wish you the best in your future endeavors. And congratulations again on your admission to Georgia Tech. And as a sign off, as always, go Jackets. And yes, it was a pleasure being here. I hope you have a great rest of your day.